It's 11:59 at Radio Free America, and this is Uncle Sam with music and the truth until dawn. Right now, I got a few words for some of our brothers and sisters in the occupied zone. The chair is against the wall. The chair is against the wall. John has a long mustache. John has a long mustache. It's 12 o'clock, Americans, another day closer to victory. And for all of you out there on or behind the lines, this is your song.
And welcome everybody to our daily gun show. We come to you live every day at 7 p.m. Eastern. That's 4 Pacific for about an hour and 90 minutes each day. We run it live on the YouTube and simulcast it over at gunchannels.com, where we're watching the live chats from everybody that's joining us live. Eventually, once a week or so, we take the shows and take the audio and post them as a podcast over on iTunes. Anybody that might be listening over there, we appreciate your feedback. Let us know you're out there. Anybody that might be listening to the show now or in the future, we always ask at the beginning of the show like this for you to take the time to like the show, give it a thumbs up, give it a like, a share, whatever it is. I guess share it on your social medias, that kind of thing. All those efforts will hopefully get the show recommended to more listeners, and that is one of our goals. So we do appreciate the people that help us out with that. We have 4 hosts, and 3 of us are here today, and then we have a special guest, maybe another guest leaving. I'm trying to read and talk at the same time. We got Dano jumping in from Illinois. Thanks for joining.
Yep, glad to be here.
Then we got Rick jumping in. Let's go Smeggy jumping in from Michigan. Thanks for jumping in.
Hey, how's everybody doing today?
And then I'm down here in Arizona. And then we got Rick jumping in from Rick's Life as I See It, host of the show on Saturdays, has a YouTube channel, Gun Channels account, and joined us because we're going to be talking about CNR FFLs. So thanks for jumping in, Rick.
Yeah, thanks for inviting me.
You bet. So today is Wednesday. It's episode 323. We're going to be talking about CCW and specifically online training for CCW. Where's FFLs even in here?
It's not. I thought you were doing an impromptu thing.
Oh, so CNR FFLs is actually Thursday, so tomorrow, not today. So do we have the wrong thing in the show description, perhaps?
Well, I mean, we have Rick here. Angry has a link, so I say
swap topics. We'll do a topic swap.
Yeah. We'll swap things around.
I like that you messed it up, but it sounded good. A swapic. Today's swapics will be.
No, I mean.
All right, so maybe we'll be talking about online training for CCW, or maybe we'll be talking about guns on vehicles in movies. We could ditch that one. I really feel like we've talked about that one before. Seems like a prime one to ditch.
Yeah, I think that's another one that somehow slid down, from like 2 weeks ago.
Just sloppy. Whoever runs this show is sloppy. So let's ditch that one, and then let's take online training, CCW, and all that, and we'll move that to the second topic. So now we got Angry jumping in, and we got Rick here. Both of these guys have FFLs that are called CNRs, carry-on relics, and that's our topic for tomorrow. But now it's our topic for today. So thanks, guys, for jumping in. Angry, thanks for jumping in. You're from what part of the country?
PA.
Thanks. And I guess I should have mentioned Rick is up in Rhode Island, right?
Yeah.
All right. So, we'll let you guys kind of steer it. We wanted to just talk about CNRs, FFLs, the benefits and the use. So you guys have them. If you put you on the spot, describe them for us, I guess, how you use them, what the benefits you saw.
Rick, do you want to go first, or do you want me to go?
Or maybe we should describe what they are first. An FFL is a federal firearms license, but you're not in business, so maybe describe what it is.
Yeah, the CNR is for collecting only. You can't run a business with it, and so you can buy any firearm that's 50 years old or older that has been classed as a curio or a relic. And what's good about it is there's good and the bad. I can, like the P64 that I purchased a couple of months ago off a gun broker. That was classed as a CNR, so it was delivered right to my house by the mailman. So you don't have to go. I don't have to go pay the $25 fee to have it transferred to me. The bad side is, like any FFL, the government can come into my house to check my records. You get a book that you got to list it in. Every gun you collect and sell or get rid of, I should put it that way. But getting one is quite simple. You can get the application online, actually. And I've let's see if I still got it here. Hang on.
Well, that was something I was going to ask real quick since you just brought it up.
I believe that's the pay. No, that's my gun I just put on there. Ignore that link. I think that's one of my new guns I just purchased. But I did have a link for you. You can go just type it in and you'll find it on Google. That
Wait a minute, you're buying a Rock River Arms 1911?
Yes. Yeah. And a Beretta 92S, one of those used Italian police jobs. Anyway, that's off the topic. I tried to get that as a CNR, but it's not 50 years old, unfortunately. So, but I said before
is that the qualifier? The gun has to be 50 years old?
At least 50.
Now, does it have to also be in some list?
Yes. And they sent me a huge booklet when I got all my package with all the guns listed. And they said,
I can ask a quick question on that topic.
Yeah.
Quick question. How often is that list updated, and who updates it specifically?
It's updated by the
by the little drummer boy.
Yeah, that was.
I mean, is it a subgroup of the ATF?
By the ATF?
Yes, and it theoretically every year, but they also but in the package they send you these memos that says so and so pamphlet hasn't been published yet. Want it, contact us to see if it's available. Then we'll send it to you. But the main one they give to you once a year. I've had it once a year. And also, on the benefit side, hey, jump in if you want me to shut up, Angry, take over. Feel free. The price is right. It's only $30 for 3 years. So I thought it was a good deal.
Now, when you apply for that, because I know, like, if it was a regular FFL, you'd have to jump through a bunch of hoops and do interviews and different things like that. Do you still have to do that for the CNR, or is it a little less?
A little less. Just fill out an 8-page. Well, it's not even total. It downloads in 8 pages, but it puts your name at the beginning. Then when you get to question 8, it asks you how you're going to pay for it. So that's how much they want your money. But then it lists like if there's more than one of you, you can be listed on there. I only listed myself, so I'm not sure how that works, to be honest with you, with more than one person. But and that's it. You just fill out. And then it's normal stuff like, are you a felon? Are you running from justice? Those kind of questions. Just send it off.
So like a standard 4473 kind of. They do a background check once, and then they decide, okay, you're not a bad person, so you can own old guns.
Yes.
So a question I have here is in regards to the your physical facility where I know it's not a business, but where you run your hobby out of. What are the requirements for that and their inspection criteria, if any?
There isn't any. I mean, I run.
So you're not required.
My business address is my house address. That's not a problem because I'm just a collector.
So you're not required to have a safe or a separate room or anything like that?
Oh, yeah. You're meant to have a safe for you can secure them.
Okay, so securing your home is not considered acceptable or good enough. They want, in addition to that, they want a hardened security.
Well, yeah, they want a safe of some sort.
Okay.
As long as you're going to lock it up. You know, but that's all aimed.
So that kind of sucks if you want to display it, though. Like, what if you want to hang it on the wall because it's like a really cool old whatever? Does it have to live in the safe, or just
you got to have you have to have if I'm correct, you got to have a safe on the premises. You know,
but
to lock them in.
Do the guns have to live in the safe?
No, they don't have to live in the safe. You just have to have one. If I'm correct, now you can check with Angry on that. But I mean, because that I only got 2 right now, CNRs. I mean, I'm not a big collector, but each one has to be. But you must list them in the book, because they send you a book to list them in.
Yeah, that was another question you briefly touched on, and that's we have a question out in the YouTube chat that pertains to that as well. Do you have to record every gun you have in the ledger, or just the ones that you get as CNR?
Just a CNR.
Okay, so you could go out to the store and buy whatever you want, and not have to worry about keeping track of it and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dano.
Why don't you go ahead and ask that one question that Rick was not quite so sure about to Angry while he's in here?
Oh, about the safe.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Angry, do you know if you get a CNR gun and you want to like put it up on the wall because it's something cool or whatever, can you do that, or do the CNR guns have to live in a safe?
They can hang up on a wall if you want them to. They don't have to be locked up. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we got you. Uh-oh.
Yeah, you're good.
Okay. Yeah. Sorry, I got NSA pop there, and my phone keeps fizzing out on me. Yeah, CNR guns. The whole thing with them.
Yeah.
He was good.
He was about to reveal the secret.
Yes.
Yeah, I could hear him fine.
Angry, if you can hear us, you
Hanging up
lost
on a
your
wall, whatever you want.
Yeah, we missed all of that, dude. You have to repeat yourself.
Can you hear me?
Now.
Okay. Sorry about that. Did you guys hear anything I said?
No, you said the thing is, and then it cut out.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. The thing is with the CNR guns, you can hang them up on a wall, you can have them in a gun case, whatever. They don't have to be locked up in a safe. You just have to make sure that when you purchase them, you do record them. They want you to have a bound book, which I have anyway for my other guns. I keep them logged down, and I keep them on a USB drive as well, just in case. So as long as you have that, you can have them stored however.
Oh, okay, so it really is a lot just about the record keeping thing.
Yeah, you just have to keep a record.
Now, what happens if you want to sell one of the guns either to a private party or another person with the CNR or a gun store or whatever? You just have to log in that it's not in your possession anymore, or is there something else you have to do?
Yeah, you just have to log that it's not in your possession anymore. Now, the thing with selling CNR guns, I don't know if Rick covered it, but the thing with CNR guns is you're not allowed to sell them to make a profit. A CNR license, and how the ATF tracks it, I have no clue. But the CNR license, you're allowed to sell them for if you want to buy like another CNR gun or something like that. But I can't go buy a crate of Mosins off, I don't know, Southern Ohio Gun or something like that for $2,000 and then turn around and sell them for $300 a pop. That'd be a big no-no. So, but I mean, if I wanted to sell like a Spanish Mauser and trade it for, I don't know, Tokarev or something like that, I would just have to mark in the book that I was sold, who it was sold to, date, that type of, like all that typical selling type information. And then if I purchase the new gun on my CNR license, then I would have to log that gun as well.
Yeah, I kind of wonder how they enforce the profit thing. I mean, I get that the whole point is that they don't want, and this is a phrase that they've used before, so listen for the air quotes, but being in the business of selling guns, then they would want you to have like just a regular FFL. However, what if you bought like a couple of guns, and we're talking old ones, which normally have investing, market or whatever, and then 10 years down the line, it happens to be worth more than what you paid for it. It's like, you sell it for fair market value, you end up making a bunch of money. Like, I wonder if they're really going to come after you, or if it's just, like you said, you have to really be, like, obviously trying to run a business.
Yeah,
So
I think
not
it's
your
more
fault
just the
that
obvious trying to run
something
a
or other
business than.
is worth more money.
Yeah, I mean, because they're going to keep.
Yeah.
If you're doing it once every now and then, like you said, if I had a Winchester 1892, and I paid $300 for it, now it's worth say $7,000. Selling a one-off, they're not going to do anything. I'm not making a business out of it. Basically, that's the way I interpreted the rules when I read them.
I mean, we'd have to talk somebody from the ATF, I suppose, but just looking at it basically spells out what you just said there. It clearly states that, where does it say? You may dispose of trios and relics to any person not otherwise prohibited residing within your state, any federal firearms license in any state. So it says right there that you can dispose of your trios and relics to any person who's not prohibited and anyone else in your state and any federal firearms licensee in another state. So I would suggest that if you did get that crate of Mosins for a good deal and then you sold 10 of them and then got all CNR guns and you didn't sell any of those, that they can't say that you're in a business of it. You're just collecting and doing what people do. They collect, they get a bunch and then they trade. But I don't know.
Oh yeah, with the sorry. With the rule book that they give you, because when you get your CNR license, they give you a whole bunch of paperwork and everything with it, and one of them is like a rule book on how to use your CNR license, and they specifically say in there that if you buy one gun and want to trade it for another CNR gun, or you want to, turn around and sell it for, and then use that money to buy another CNR gun, that's completely cool. Like they're fine with that. They just don't want you buying a gun and then selling it for profit and then taking that money and just keeping it. Which, how they would track that, I have no clue. But
yeah, that's what I'm saying. When I read it, I can't figure out how they track you.
And I'm sure it's just like what Smeggy said. Like it's probably for like, if there was a guy out there that was buying a bunch of crates of surplus rifles cheap and then selling them off for double what he paid for them, and then not buying anything else or something, they just put in there, I think, just so the whole, like, you're not in the business, it's strictly a collector's, air quotes, collector's license.
Yes, I mean, if you wanted a gun, Smeggy, I can't buy it. You can't have it delivered to me, basically.
Well, right.
Correct.
But if I wanted
to suggest that, Smeggy, I don't even know where you came up with that.
Oh, I don't know, man. But if you happen to own a gun that I was interested in, of course, you'd have to send it to my FFL because I don't have a CNR. But anyways, like, let's say you did have one that I was interested in, and I'm a sucker, so I'm willing to pay $200 more than you paid for it. That's not your fault that you made a profit. Like, you wouldn't get in trouble for that.
No.
No, CNRs go around buying stuff out of state all the time too. You guys have FFL, so if you're on vacation and you want to buy a gun, you can just buy it with your CNR, right? Or does it have to be 50 years old?
On the list, we can buy it.
Okay, so any
Yep,
gun.
as long as it's on the list.
Now, Pants had a good question over on the gun channel side. People are watching live, and he said, do you have to catalog any CNR eligible guns that you acquired before you got your license? And then do you have to catalog CNR eligible firearms that you didn't use on your license?
No, just what you purchased on your license.
Yes.
So you could have been collecting your whole life and have hundreds of guns and then get your CNR and buy 2 more guns and then quit, get out of the business, you get offended by something that happens on an online gun community and you leave the internet, all guns behind. So then you would only have those 2 guns in your CNR.
Correct.
Although it, like when you just said that though, my like cover your ass switch went off in my brain of that you might at least want to have some way of proving that you did have those guns before you got the license, because in the future the ATF comes by and is like, hey, we're going to do a little check. And they're like, holy crap, look at all of these. You only wrote 2 of them down. You say, yeah, but I had those 50 from before. They're going to say, yeah, right, prove it. So
no, they don't have to. You can't prove stuff that it's not possible for you to prove, and they can't claim you're guilty of something that you can't prove. So what they would have to do is come up with some gun that is on the other guy's form going out to a CNR that you didn't have on your CNR. That's the only way they can get you.
Yeah, that's the only way they could catch you.
There's nothing on CNRs that just appears on your CNR, right? You're buying your stuff from other FFLs. So this is all paperwork guns. They can't just claim that a bunch of them appeared on your bound book out of nowhere or aren't on your bound book, because they would have to, if then the only way they could question that is if they had just come from some distributor who had a whole bunch of like, a dozen guns coming out to you and you've just got 2 in your book. Then they see there's a problem and they can say, prove something. But without that, they wouldn't be able to claim anything. I'm not a lawyer, but I think you're right.
Yeah, I wouldn't see it being a problem because they would have to prove that, some other FFL sold you the gun on your CNR and you didn't mark it down or something. So.
And you guys can CNR to yourselves all the time, whenever you feel like it. Just go over to somebody's house, even out of state, and go, hey, I like that gun, let's trade, and then just swap them in your books, and now you can just go home out of state.
Yeah, as long as we both got a CNR license, yeah.
Yep.
Can you just buy some guy on the street out of state as long as it's a CNR gun? Because if you had an FFL, you could go buy off the street anywhere in any state and put it on your books and you'd be fine.
And we
to my knowledge,
across state lines too.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. See that right there, that's worth it for $30. And then I would imagine if you were dealing, especially like Rick in Rhode Island, if somebody's going to stop you and give you shit because you're on your way to the range, you can go, well, I'm an FFL holder, and how many CCWs do you have? 7?
I have 7 at the moment.
Yeah, that's crazy. So, I mean, that's a pretty decent credential to have for $30.
Yeah, that's why I got it for people. So, the only thing is, the ATF can come to your house without a search warrant.
Yep.
So a question I have is, what?
They have a search warrant. They don't need it really because you've signed a thing that says because of this permit you can do this.
Yeah.
Well, but you didn't have to give them a map of your facilities and where the guns are or anything like that. Like if you're a regular FFL, you'd have to tell them where the guns are. You don't have to do that.
No.
Yeah, you just have to provide your address. You don't have to tell them how they're stored or where they are or anything like that.
And if they show up,
so once you make a purchase, whether it be from another CNR or from a wholesaler, time-wise, is it written down? Do you have like 3 days to put it in your book? Do you have 24 hours to put it in your book?
I'm trying to think about the rule book. I don't think it's in the rule book. I think it just says record it. Like whenever I get mine, I open it, I check it for flaws and stuff like that. And then the first thing I do is grab all the information off of it and I record it.
Yeah, I'm thinking about people who may go to, like, as an example, Wanamaker Gun Show in Tulsa, and they may not be home for another, whether it be 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 days, 2 weeks, whatever. They may stop at other gun shows along the way.
Well, hold on. If you're doing that and you're actively collecting, or even think you might, you're probably just bringing your book with you. So you don't need to be in your state to write your book. You can, as soon as you acquire it, you put it in your book because their book is across state lines. It's a federal license. So number one, they could roll it that way. But I can't imagine anybody that holds a CNR license can show that they were just at multiple gun shops on some kind of a road trip, whatever, collecting stuff.
Okay.
That anybody would give them any shit, you know.
Well, that also brings up another interesting variant is what's the process if you have it stolen? I mean, because that's why I thought they would never leave home, because the book is so valuable, so critical.
That's a good point.
Well, like in the case of my book, like if I travel to a gun show or something like that, I bring like sometimes I'll bring the book with me. Other times I'll just bring copies of my CNR license for records. But like if the book was stolen, I mean, as I said, I keep the physical book, and then I also keep a backup on a USB drive.
You
So
could just rewrite it if you had to. You could get a blank one and just rewrite it. It would take a little while.
yeah, it would just take, yeah, exactly. I could just grab another, because the book doesn't have to be anything special. It could be a notebook for all they care, as long as you have a record.
Oh,
You
it doesn't
have
even have to be their book. It can just be a spiral book that you buy at the Walgreens or something.
Oh yeah, yeah. As long as you have the information they want in it.
Okay. So there you go, Donald. You could basically keep two if you wanted. Just keep a duplicate set, one for travel and then one fancy one for the house.
Gotcha. And that makes sense.
I wonder if it would count. If can you just print stuff and then use a 3-ring notebook? Just keep putting them in there. Keep adding pages.
Yeah, you could do that.
No, well there you go.
As long as it has the required information. You know, that's all. Where you got it from, and if you got rid of it, where it went.
Most all the gun shops I know use published books, but I imagine that's mainly just so that they have some uniformity to their stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I got a published book. I got mine off of. I mean, they send you a little one in the package, but I got a Curios and Relics book off of Amazon.
What is that? A couple of bucks?
It's going to last me a lifetime. You know.
That just costs a couple of bucks.
Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, to me, I always look at see what's going out because I was looking at the find some old army rifles, you know, stuff like that. I'll keep my eye out for one for a deal out there, then I'll buy it. But it's not my sole thing, just buying old guns.
Well, for the sake of keeping the show going, I'm going to say, is there anything else that you wanted to talk about that we haven't hit yet?
I do have a quick follow-on question. Renewal. How long do they suggest that you put forth the paperwork before you renew? And is the cost the same, or does you get a discount?
I believe. Go ahead, Rick.
Well, I believe it's still the same price. It's $30 for 3 years, and renewal. I got to check on that. I did read it, but I can't remember. But I knew it took about 2.5 months for mine to come through.
Yeah, same with me. It took me about 2 months from start date to when I actually got my license. So, like, my license expires in November of this year. Probably sometime in September, I'm going to just renew it.
Yeah, because if you don't renew it, this is what I got to check into. If you don't renew it, what happens to the guns?
Well,
I think you just send them
to my knowledge, if you don't renew it, you still keep the rifles, just you no longer and this was from what I researched on it, is you still keep your guns because you still bought them technically under an FFL. Just you're not going to have the benefit of having your CNR license. And I thought, and I could be wrong, but I thought for renewing, I thought it was, it's $30 for the initial license, and then for some reason I wanted to say I thought it was only like $10 for a renewal, but I could be wrong on that.
No, you could be right. I said I didn't remember. I was making a wild guess. To be honest with you.
Yeah, I think to renew for another 3 years, it's only another $10. So that's the big kicker. If you don't renew it, then you got to pay $30 all over again. You know, resubmit all the initial paperwork, and then you won't have, for whatever time you're lapsed, you won't be able to buy any CNR guns. Well, you'll be able to buy them, just not on a license.
Yeah, you have to go through a regular FFL and pay the $25 transfer fee and all that good stuff.
Yep.
Did I answer your question? Anything else, Dano?
Yep, thank you. Yep, thank you very much.
Right, I gotta go turn off the water.
Well, okay then. I'm not
He's gotta
seeing,
go
looking out in the chats, I'm not seeing any other questions about that. In fact, everyone seems pretty sleepy out there today.
Yeah. Well,
But
if
I think
anybody's got any more questions, come and join me on my Saturday show, and I'll be willing to answer them.
Looks like a Native Gun might be a CNR. He's out there in the text chats putting out some of the answers as well.
Sounds like we got a lot of CNRs over on gun channels. Somebody should make a channel to get you guys all together or whatever, you can trade and whatever, and then people who are interested could ask.
Yeah, sounds like an idea.
Yeah, it sounds like a good idea. Share deals and stuff like that.
And then I guess Enrique as well.
Oh, sure. Now everyone's waking up.
Yep.
All right. Well, with that, we're going to go to a film strip. So I'm going to see if I can screen capture over here. That screen capturing. The other day we were talking about doing something for activism, and somehow we got into that, and then Penn and Teller and the recycling thing. So I guess they did do a gun control one. It's 1 minute and 26 seconds long, so let's get copyright strike.
Well, they did do a whole episode.
Well, but this is 1 minute and 26, so we can get copyright strike really quick.
A well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of the free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. That's it. Not a lot of words, just very specific ones.
It means that the states have the right to have a well-regulated militia. And a 20-year-old kid carrying an assault weapon on the streets of downtown America has absolutely nothing to do with a well-regulated militia.
Well, read the words. A well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state. Sure, you need an organized military force to defend your country, but the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. This is the people, in contrast with the militia. It doesn't say the right of the militia to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. It says the right of the people. Now, why the word people? Because the people who wrote this had just fought a war for 2 years against a tyrannical state militia. They knew the time might come when they'd have to do that again. So they made the possession of weapons a right that the militia could never take away. Now, gun control advocates say the phrasing is clumsy, and the comma separating the state from the people is just a pause to get your breath. Strange, they can't seem to point out any other places where those hack framers fucked up the wording. So what does...
Oops. So that was a little film strip, so we could take a breather and readdress that. I think somebody sent that in, so thanks for sending that in.
Yeah, thanks for grabbing that video. I thought it was very, very poignant.
Succinct. It's a different argument than I used,
episode.
but it's a good argument, I guess. It's quicker. It's a quick argument. All right. Well,
that was good.
let's go into the CCW topic then today, which will be online training for CCW. But before we do, actually, Rick might be handy for this since he's got 7 CCWs. But before we do, we'd like to take a break between the first and second segment of the show each day, feature one of the members over at Gun Channels. Gun Channels is a place we built a while back. It's a community focused on firearms and completely membership driven. So each day we like to feature one of the members. Today, Arctic Fire. I think I just picked people this week that were active in the chat when we were setting everything up. So I just say Arctic because I never see the fire part, but he's quite active in the chats. I think he's even been in some of the late night chats now.
Yeah. He actually won the tactical pop quiz of the day just a couple of days ago.
There you go. So
yep,
hanging out on
smart guy
and profiting. All right, so CCW online training. So Rick, how many of your CCWs did you get online?
How many did I get online? Well, actually, the only ones I took a course. It was 5 CCWs and the FFL. It was a 2-day course. I had to sit through 4 hours of classroom. Then the second day was more on safety, and then I had to do. I'm trying to think what states it was. It could have been Florida or Massachusetts. One of those we had to do a shooting qualification. We had to hit 10 bullets in a target at 8 feet or something. It was quite simple. So I've done that, and when I left there, I had 5 envelopes with everything in them. There was 2 that I had to go to my own police station to get fingerprints done, but the rest of them, they accepted the fingerprints this person was allowed to do, and these people were licensed to do this training for these 5 states, and that was Utah, Virginia, Florida, Massachusetts, and Maine. Even though Maine has gone constitutional, they still offer that license for the I can never say the word properly, for their
reciprocity,
the states they have. And so that's the course I went. It cost me $225 to take this 2-day course. So I filled all those out, sent them off, and it took a few months to get them all back. Then, like the Rhode Island one I'd done in person. Connecticut, I called them up, got it sent to me, the non-resident, filled it out and sent it back. And the same with the other one. What's the other one I got? I think that's it for now. I'm in the process of filling out paperwork for Pennsylvania now. I got to be able to get out of Northeast somehow.
Yeah, I did that similar type of thing in Vegas or in Nevada with doing a bunch of them at one time. And you can stack them. In other words, if the requirement for the state is that you need so many hours, you're fulfilling the requirement for multiple states as you take your training. So as long as your instructor is qualified or whatever, licensed to offer the credential, then like Rick, you can get multiple ones at the same time. And then like for ours, I think it was Florida and Nevada had separate shooting, like whatever requirements. So you would shoot maybe for each state there, but otherwise the rest of the stuff was pretty much all covered by the same classroom instruction. But has anybody in here then got a CCW via internet on the online courses?
I have not. But one of the things that I remember seeing something like that, and I was looking at it, right? Because it says, CCW for 30 states or whatever. I was like, well, that's kind of cool. The training course covers all of that. And then when I read further, it was only basically the online training course, like just for the Utah non-resident. But because Utah has reciprocity with 30 states or whatever, that's what they were claiming. And it felt a little cheesy for me. I was like, I don't like, he kind of tricked me with the words there. So I never ended up doing it.
Oh, well, that's how it works. You get a Utah permit, and it does have reciprocity with 30 states. So.
Yeah, but
you're only
maybe not give your money to that guy.
Get the 30 permits. Because let's say Utah makes all the other states mad, and then they say, well, we're not honoring Utah anymore. Well, now I'm down to 0.
Well, that's never happened. And I guess that's a potentiality, but then there's going to be a heck of a lot of people that are in the same boat as you. But I mean, that's never happened. It would be unprecedented.
Well, what's its face did that? They was up in the Northeast a few months ago or whatever. Was it Virginia or something where they canceled reciprocity with 10 states at a time or whatever.
Virginia, wait,
I forget which one. There's somewhere over there. They're all the same.
But then
I think it was Virginia.
Brought them back.
Well, yeah, they did end up backtracking it because they got caught doing it and everyone got mad about it. But I'm just saying they definitely wanted to. So, anyways, I don't know. I'm just saying that I looked at a couple of the online ones and just read thoroughly, because I was under the wrong impression at first, and then I was corrected.
Yeah, I know the one you're talking about, Smeggy. It is worded. It's like the way it's worded is like clickbait.
Yeah, that's like I said. I understand. You get the non-resident ones that.
That's the fault of the company or the instructor that put that ad out there and approved it. That's no fault.
I'm just saying I'm not giving him my money.
Permit.
No, I understand. I'm just saying I'm not giving that one particular website my money because I thought that was kind of cheesy.
Right.
So just read carefully.
And I kind of agree with you, but there are places that offer that other than that particular place that I know, because Utah classes are held in my state of Illinois. Because of for that same feature.
I wonder, are there
that you can get a non people getting turned off on it because of one bad ad?
Right. So are there states that you can get a non-resident permit without having to take training? Because I know there are some states that don't require training for a permit, like, for their home state or for residents. Are there any of them that you can just like write and say, hey, can I have one of your permits? And then give them whatever the money, and they say, okay, sure, here you go.
It definitely seems like something that's worth making a column in a spreadsheet and doing some research, because I don't think so, but it's possible.
Because there are definitely some that the residents can just go into their sheriff or whatever and be like, hey, I want a permit, here's $50. And then they say, okay, as long as they're not bad guys. But
that's
not all of them have training.
That's the thing. As a resident of the state, they are going to be doing a background check, and they are going to charge something for that. So I guess that's how they pay for it. As a non-resident, I guess if you're paying for the permit, they might offer it. I mean, you can get a Utah one, but there is a classroom involved. It's like 4 hours or something.
Now, I know the question is online training, but just by association, would that also relate to training that may not be required, but training for CCW that's available, let's say, on DVD?
Well, that's another aspect.
Or would that be completely different?
It's a different aspect. We can switch over to that. We can pivot over to that if we want.
Sure. Just a couple off the top of my head is I know Masad Ayub has some DVDs that are out there. I know James Yeager in Tactical Response has some DVDs. I know there are a number of other people. Tom Gibbons has some. There's probably about
like Personal Defense or something.
A dozen others.
Yeah.
Yes. I think Pincus does. There's a number of what I'll call the national names that do have DVDs available.
So you're saying that there's something like a Netflix, except for all these DVDs that have specialized firearms training?
Yes.
There should be. I agree.
Yes, I mean, I was talking about this on my show on Saturday because I'm a member of the United States Concealed Carry Association. I had the original cheap one, $13 for about a year. Then I upgraded to the top level, $30 a year. And they sent me $284 worth of goods. And I got about 10 training DVDs here.
Yeah, I'm a member of the Armed Citizens Defense League, and I got exactly the same thing. It was like 8 to 12 DVDs on different aspects to go through to educate myself.
Yeah, that's what I've got.
It wasn't techniques.
Sorry, but like, how well do you think those DVDs do at explaining self-defense and concealed carry and stuff like that? Like, are they very useful?
Well, I mean,
I guess do they replace
the ones from the
training?
They're better than nothing.
The ones that I received from the Armed Citizens Defense League went into, as an example, what to say to an officer, what not to say, things like that. And if you cannot attend a class where you can say, well, what do you mean by that? Because that's one thing you don't get in a DVD is you don't get the opportunity to help get clarification to something that you heard that you might not quite understand.
And as importantly, if you think you understand it, and then some of the other 20-something people in the class ask a question, and you're now realize that you totally misunderstood, and you, without that interaction with another human being, another student, you might have just gone on your way assuming the wrong and never know. And you know what I mean? So I think there's any of those instructors, I don't want to speak for them, but I suspect from what I understand, most of the time they're offering those as supplemental, as extracurricular, that you would want to have experienced at least some amount of real life instruction first, so that you could use those as reference and additional. So I would liken it to something like martial arts training or sports. You can like watch some sports or something, or you can watch like a DVD on how to use chacos, but you're going to get more out of that visual, right? If you've participated in a sport before, if you've gone to a dojo and had somebody, you know, and you've actually swung around chacos or something. So, you know, if you can't expect to just watch the DVDs and get 100% knowledge. You can watch the DVDs and get a pretty good gist of what the concept is and what the curriculum is. But I think the nuances and stuff come from actual instruction, the hands-on.
Well, I would think that possibly you would get more out of a training course if you come in at least already being familiar with a lot of the things, you know, and then you could see them in practice and be like, oh, okay, that's why you do this way or that way.
When you know, but CCA insurance, that's $30 a month or $30 a year.
Well, for mine, that's $30 a month.
Okay, so you think you said year, so people weren't sure.
Oh, sorry. That's
you're paying for insurance. That's more than just training DVDs. That's
right.
Training DVDs in addition to the insurance that they're giving you.
Right, it's like a bonus.
You know, my own opinion, and I underline opinion when I say this, is if it's a choice, and we all have choices, but you know, if it's never attending any class ever, or watching a DVD from a known source of quality, better a DVD than nothing at all.
I agree.
I agree, Dano.
I mean, like I got some DVDs they sent me here. You know, one is gun range etiquette, which which I thought was pretty good. Because I went to a gun range to learn how to shoot, but it was one-on-one, and she was just teaching me safety on the gun. Really, she took care of everything else on the range. So that was, I learned some stuff off of that. Then I got another one where how to set up a home defense. You know, you can learn some stuff off of that. But most of them, as you said, there's a little caption that comes up at the beginning or end. I can't remember where it says what you said, G-Webs. Where, you know, use this along with real training. You know, I think they're well worth it myself.
All right. Well, so should we keep going with CCW, online CCW, or keep going?
I think we solved it.
I think we did too.
Okay.
So every day we like to feature a gun shop, and today.
What?
Oh, can I back up real quick? Back to that.
Go ahead, Rick.
On this real quick is everybody needs to get this book, The Law of Self-Defense, by that attorney Andrew F. Baranta. That his name? I mean, for carrying a CCW, this thing lays the law out in every state, practically in plain English. On CCW, if you happen to have to shoot somebody, it's a great deal. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I agree. We're talking about online, but having a book is totally different thing. If you're in real life and you're traveling and you want to, you know, if you're literally in a new state and you just want to be able to look at a book and see what's going on, you know, out of the glove box or something, so you can do it. And then, you know, for just checking something real quick, I agree. Having the state guides is nice, especially when they list them in plain English, so you don't have to try to decipher each state's legalese.
Yeah, sorry about that. So I'll leave it to you.
No problem. So you want to take it, G-Webs?
Yeah, I was going to ask these guys, since we have guests today, what kind of windbreakers they wear.
Ah! It's time! It's time! It's time for the Tactical Pop Quiz! Can you possibly believe it? I don't know. And I know Angry's just kicking himself right now. He says, "Oh, I should be out there. I should be doing something."
He's automatically disqualified. And you're not going to use one of his questions today.
Is he disqualified? Because he doesn't have access to the show notes. He could just yell the answer out before everybody.
Nah, it's good to give it to other people.
If you have access to gun channels or the YouTube site, just type in the answer. Give it a shot. Do you like that? Give it a shot.
Unfair advantage.
All right, Smeggy, willing to be my unwilling cohort in crime?
10-4, good buddy. Ready to rock and roll.
All right. Those of you over on YouTube and those of you over on gun channels, limber up your fingers, put your cursor down in the text box, and last check, Smeg, have you seen the answer?
Yep.
Supplied. All right. I will read the question twice. The PBY Catalina was typically armed with how many 50 caliber machine guns? The PBY Catalina was armed typically with how many 50 caliber machine guns?
69.
Ooh, it was
2,
like
4,
just
4,
about there.
3, 2, 6.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if Angry was allowed to play or not.
We got 2, 4, 3, 2, and 6. 3, 4, 2. Any of these numbers right?
Yeah, the answer's in there. Yeah.
Yeah, the answer's in there.
What are we waiting for then? What is this?
I wasn't sure if Angry was
Who
allowed
said
to
number
play.
2?
It was 2.
Who said 2?
Angry.
Angry. I could like reach right through the screen almost. Congratulations. You are today's Tactical Pop Quiz winner. I'm sure you know what to do, but for a reminder for everybody else, those future winners out there, head on over to dailygunshow.com/popquiz. Fill out the form, put your first and second choice, and congratulations, Angry.
Oh, you got the answer
Now,
right.
is this going to be like too personal?
What?
Never
What are
mind.
you talking about? Okay. Angry, that makes you today's tactical hot shot of the day.
Oh, come on.
He
That
doesn't
was
deserve more.
this is the 31st of May. That was our 250th winner, at least in the database that we're using, since we've been using the database. We've probably had more shows than that, so there might technically be a few more winners. I think Sean Connery was winning quite a bit before that. Angry probably was too. But anyhow, we are kind of redoing the show next month, so this will be the last patch winner of a daily pop quiz. We'll still do the pop quiz going forward, but it'll be in a little bit different format to acquire points or bragging rights. So congratulations, Angry, for the 250th patch going out.
Yep. So congratulations, Angry, and bragging rights will be forthcoming to all future winners. Congratulations.
I was just looking at
next,
but I think Angry is in the lead anyway, aren't you? Let me go look real quick.
Angry? He's overwhelmed.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't know what to do. He's just like shocked.
Yeah, in other words, he's busy.
He doesn't know what to say.
Dano. He's busy PayPaling Dano. That's what it's really happening.
Yeah. Let's see.
Yeah. So Angry, that'll be number
$25 to Just Dano.
That right there was
exactly.
44th win, the 250th going out from the show. So very cool. And I guess we'll keep going. So I can close out that window. And
Yep. Let's go ahead and cover tactical tidbits for today.
Wait,
and this is a
tactical tidbit today.
Yes, we do. If you can imagine that. is after I came back from Camden, Tennessee, I brought back with me a lot of notes as well as a book in regards to gunfighting rules as well as other things that we will get into later. But right now we're going through those, and there's 17 altogether. Today is number 12, but yesterday was number 11, so let's go ahead and review that. Number 11 was, you must decide to be aggressive enough, quick enough, and that was from John Farnham. Today's, also from John Farnham, number 12, the faster you finish the fight, shot. The faster you finish the fight, the less you will get shot. And, you know, in some ways, you get, you know, I think of these as like, well, it seems so obvious, but yet it has to do with the quickness and lethalness of your actions.
Yeah, the resolution to take it to the ultimate, because if you fart around poking, you're going to risk dying or getting maimed really bad.
Yeah. Yep. The more time you take in deciding what to do, how to do it, and what level to do it at, the more likely you are to end up on the wrong end of the fight. And it is a fight for your life. So that is number 12. And tomorrow we will obviously have number 13. So that is 17 Rules of a Gunfight, part 12.
Right on. So I think next we will go into this gun shop of the day. Every single day, one of the reasons we started doing a daily show is so that every single day we could feature a new gun shop. And we do that with the help of the audience, using the interactive nature of this new media. And I forgot who sent this one in, but somebody sent this one in. It's called Point Blank, and that's all I know about it. So let's find out where it is. About us. Here's a story. Does anybody know who put this one in here? It might be from email.
I do not remember seeing that.
It looks like it's in Cincinnati, Ohio. So somebody in Ohio. Maybe Pink sent this one in then.
Yeah. I'm kind of wondering if it was Pink.
Says
although Cincinnati is right on the lake.
Okay. Says the gun shop was started as a result of bad customer service at 2 local firearms stores, and the owner decided to start his own shop, I guess, back in 2012. So it's a relatively new shop, and looks like a fairly big one, just judging from the pictures and the size of the inside there. Pretty big facility. Looks like it was purpose built to be a gun shop, the way the windows are. Very hardened building. Pretty cool. It makes it easy to cool usually too. So it looks like it's pretty nice. I don't see a picnic table, but I don't see the whole shop here potentially. There looks to be some sort of TV back here. We should talk about having TVs in gun shops at some point.
I do see a table on the left-hand side of that picture that looks like it might be for beverages.
No, it's way too small. Beverages at a nightclub. This isn't a nightclub. Looks like it's just...
I'm not talking about cocktails.
Well, that's what that is. It's a little tiny table. There is a drink on it, but I don't think that's necessarily... like they have one bottle there. Like, come and enjoy the bottle that we have for everyone to share. That's just somebody set their bottle.
Well, they're not going to feature the coffee on their website.
They would if they wanted your business.
You never know. Look at this. Our range locations: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. A couple of them say coming soon, but that's encouraging.
Yeah, four of them are. That is booming. 4 of them are brand new.
Yeah, that's
from Indiana to. Yeah,
I like it.
I mean, I'm seeing a lot over in Indiana and Iowa. Or I mean, excuse me, Ohio.
Indiana and Iowa would be.
They're old words.
So
old words.
It looks like they got firearms parties and events. That's kind of neat. Looks like they had a bunch of range guns there. Uh-oh. This is better than a picnic table. This is leather chairs and little tables to set at. They're down to stay in the night. So it looks like for $20 bucks, a minimum of 6 people, you can take over the little coffee area, drink all the coffee you want probably. And I wonder if that means they have some sort of little coffee shop or something going on at the range.
Well, I thought when you went just down, it said something about like you can bring your own food or whatever.
Yeah, bring your own food and drink. No,
or catering. Okay, so they have facilities, but not, or they have room, but no stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, pretty neat. Maybe one day we'll have Pink on as a special guest, and he can tell us, oh yeah, look at this, all the way down to Dallas. This could have been anybody that sent us this. This could have been somebody in Dallas. It could have been somebody in Arkansas.
Memphis. That's
Tennessee.
Memphis, Tennessee.
Louisville.
There's a river there.
There's a bunch over by Chicago too, eh?
Yeah, I don't know. We have members in Chicago. I guess we have one that's near Napierville.
Napierville.
It.
You know, if I didn't know better, and I do know better, I would think you have no idea how to pronounce any of these towns.
So anyhow, this is interesting. So it could have been a lot of people. Even one up near, well, kind of by Michigan. If you'd swim across, it's near Michigan. How big a swim? 15-minute swim across here?
Yeah, sure.
Seriously though, is there boats that go across like this, or do you have to drive around it all the time?
No, there's boats that go across, especially down to Sandusky where Cedar Point is. Like that's a big thing.
Can you get a ferry down here, so you just take your car all the way over and go to this point blank range?
Yeah, there are ferries that run down. I don't know if it would go all the way over there. I mean, it's the stopping point would depend.
All right. Well, anyway, so it probably was Pink though, because he's in Ohio. But
that's kind of interesting. I haven't seen like a gun shop that's like kind of a chain. That's not like a big box store. Like that's kind of, it looks like a local gun shop that happens to have multiple locations. That's kind of cool.
Does it have pictures of each?
Yeah, that's.
No, it looks like they're not.
It seems
It's not a small shop.
I mean, I've never seen a chain of ranges. I mean, do they have chains down by you, G?
There's the 2 indoor ranges in Tucson are owned by the same place. So I don't know if you want to call that a chain or not, but no, not necessarily like this. I mean, these don't all have.
Right.
These weren't built to suit, built to the plan or whatever, but they all look very similar. I mean, in size and scale, these aren't little houses turned into gun shops or anything.
Right.
And their branding is pretty consistent. So these are definitely, I mean, that's a big building there. Where is Hodgkins, Illinois?
It's Hodgkins, and it's a suburb on the south side.
Huh. And then I don't know any of these other places like
Maryville is Indiana, Greenwood, India, obviously.
But it looks
Naperville.
Like Tennessee's are coming soon. The Texas is coming soon. So they're really only in 3-4 states, really. And then they're about to open up into 7 or 6. Anyway, pretty cool. And maybe somebody else.
For anyone interested out there, if I can just interrupt for a moment, because it's going to do 2 birds with 1 stone. If you have any suggestions for the show or comments, please send them to dailygunshow@gmail.com. Once again, any comments or suggestions to dailygunshow@gmail.com.
All right. Well, that was our gun shop of the day. Like I say, every day we try to feature a gun shop, so that ideally we're promoting new shops all the time. And something like that one, I think somebody might have the potential to really encounter one of those in your travels or wherever people are listening.
Yeah, I'd be interested in finding out how the inside of the ranges are, if they're as modern and up to date as the showrooms are.
I'm assuming they are. William Hendricks says Point Blank is a great chain store. They've opened 2 here in the Chicagoland area. I go every month to the range. Naperville isn't open yet, but Hodgkins and Manuka have been open for 6 months. They're in brand new buildings with state-of-the-art HVAC, and Hodgkins is in Cook County outside of Chicago. So maybe it's worth maybe what do they call it? Field trip for Dano.
Brand new ventilation system?
What? I wonder if there's any even way to gauge the flow rate of a system like that.
I have no idea. I might have to check that out.
Sir, you're only supposed to. Like I rented the lane. I can use whatever apparatus I want.
Yeah.
It doesn't say I have to use a gun. So
That's a
If we
very
only
good
had
point.
people who understood flow.
the glow.
The flow. Wait a minute. No, never mind. That's a different kind of flow.
Yeah, in Kung Fu, you're looking to gain like the glow when you've reached ultimate karate knowledge or whatever. But in the HVAC tech, you're looking for the flow, where you gain like a glow, and you can just tell the flow rate of a vacuum system.
Oh, I kind of
And
can
you-
sometimes. I get pretty damn close. I say,
And
yeah,
you
it's about
just
250
spray
feet
away.
per minute.
Okay, speaking of
Yes.
spraying away, William Hendricks just said in the YouTube side, which Dano's neglecting, I will gladly meet Dano there and let him shoot my guns. So now you've got an invitation to go on a field trip down to one of these Chicagoland stores. Right.
Who is it again?
William Hendricks on the YouTube side. If you would, remind Dano by sending him an email to dailygunshow@gmail.com, and perhaps you guys could arrange something. That'd be pretty cool. In fact, maybe we can prearrange, like call him and say, hey, we're going to be reviewing it for our podcast, and maybe you guys can get VIP treatment and a little tour of the place.
You never know.
I usually get that when I go to places because you let them know that you're willing to help them out and let people know about it. All right. Well, with that, I think we're going to keep moving on along. We will do the
Where
gun
we at next?
gun movie of the day, since we still got Rick and Angry in here. I'm about to kick them out of here as soon as the movie's over, though, because we're about to have the tactical quiz after that. And I don't want these guys, if they were to win, I don't want anybody, I wasn't calling any lawyers on us. But we're about to talk about a movie. So every day we talk about a gun-related movie, something you might not have seen in a while, or if you're one of the youngins that listen, it's something you ain't seen yet. I don't know about this one, though, because I think it's new. So anyway, it's called APPALOOSA. Anybody seen this one?
I have not. Don't think I've ever heard of it.
seen the trailer, and the trailer actually looks pretty interesting. But then I spoke to somebody else who actually saw the movie, and apparently the trailer is like the best parts of the movie.
I can't imagine the trailer being good because there are no good points of the movie. So I don't know, Angry or Rick, have you guys seen this movie, APPALOOSA?
I have not.
I have not.
All right. Well, you guys welcome
Okay.
to stick around, or you can jump out. But I'm just going to rag on it for a minute. It's lame. I watched it earlier today because I knew it was our movie today, and I just figured I'd watch it. I was doing some other work, and I just wanted something on in the background. And I'm glad I didn't sit down to watch it because it was horrible. It was okay as far as like the scenery and the costumes. It seemed kind of nice, like, you know, from a good Western or whatever. Not like a real dirty one like Clint Eastwood, Fistful of Dollars, which I prefer, but not like a fake Bonanza TV show looking thing either. Like, you know, it was a well-made, high-budget movie, so it was okay to look at, but it was mostly a drama, in my opinion. The only cowboy action part of it was just necessary to keep the arguments going between the leading lady and the guy. Like,
The summary of it here is: two friends hired to police a small town that's suffering under the rule of a rancher find their job complicated by the arrival of a young widow.
Yeah, so
And
basically,
it's under the crime, drama, romance categories, not
That's what it
cowboy shoot 'em up category.
it says crime movie romance. Seriously.
Yeah, and in the trailer, it didn't really indicate any sort of romance. It just really showed about these two guys hired to clean up a town gone bad or a town taken over.
Yeah, and that's pretty much, you know, like the beginning of it is these two guys, and they have like a minor gunfight, like a tiny altercation that's like the opening credits, and then they roll up into a town, and that's just to, you know, create the scene that these guys are hired hand gun lawmen, and then the town hires them. They threaten the bad guy, and then the woman rolls in, and then it becomes this like drama, and then occasionally the bad guy comes around and goes, remember, I'm still a bad guy and I require time from the sheriff. And then the sheriff goes and does stuff for like a minute and then comes back and gets yelled at for spending time with the bad guy. So I didn't like it. I didn't realize it was a romantic drama, otherwise I wouldn't have probably even bothered. I thought it was a cowboy movie. I thought it was supposed to be an action cowboy movie, just a bad one. So now I was gonna give it one thumb up because it is interesting if you like looking at cowboy stuff. I don't know how accurate it is because I don't know the accuracy, but at least it looks authentic. You know, they spent some money making it look old. Well, anybody else? Nobody else can give me anything because nobody's seen it. So I guess that was a miserable failure at a gun of the day or a gun movie of the day. But what are you gonna do? We're not here to sell you the movie, and we're not here to give you a review necessarily, as much as just remind you of movies that are gun related. There is an 8 gauge in it. They make a big point about this guy having an 8 gauge, and I forget who the actor is. It might be the guy from Cowboys and Aliens. The guy who's James Bond. That guy.
Daniel Craig?
It might be that guy, or else somebody looks like him. And then this 8 gauge is like nearly as tall as the guy when he leans it up against the wall. I mean, it's a giant shotgun. So I guess that's probably why I'm just guessing this was Z's. This is either Z or somebody recommended it.
Well, I just want to say that the Pants is saying, I suggested this one, hooray. But that may have been about the gun shop thing. But I'm going to blame him for the movie. So why'd you suggest this movie, Pants? Because apparently no one likes it.
Romantic dramas.
Yeah, he just likes dramas.
Maybe he likes a good romantic drama.
Oh, he did say that the HVAC at that range looked like it was so good that you might need to wear a windbreaker. So redeemed himself.
I'll be the judge of that, sir.
Cowboys and Aliens.
You should team up. You can be the expert of windbreakers, and I'll be the expert of the air, and we'll team up.
There we go. So I think with that, we're going to kick Rick and Angry out of here. Thanks for sticking around. Thanks much for giving us info on the CNR FFLs and getting that whatever conversation going. It looks like it's something that we could take over to gun channels. Like I was saying, a couple of people have chimed in and said they have their CNRs. I didn't even know. So that might be kind of interesting. Just watch the CNR guys talk about what they got.
Had a lot more
Yeah, they
people.
can all trade back and forth with each other, right? They can just send the stuff from one state to the other. They all have licenses.
Yeah,
True.
Yeah.
During this show, we discovered 5 people that have CNRs.
You know what? That might mean we might have something interesting another thing maybe for the trading cards. Oh, let's talk about trading cards. All right. Thanks, Angry. Thanks, Rick.
Thank you very
I'll
much.
get the heck out of here.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Rick's Live, as I say it, 3 p.m. Eastern. Saturday.
Oh, no. Yeah. Sorry. So don't
Yep.
Rick
Yeah,
does
do your promo.
Saturday. And
Well, you guys are taking it over this Saturday, aren't you?
hold on. You mean for the trading cards? No.
Yeah.
Wait. I don't know. We asked about that the other day, and I don't know if we got a definite response. It would have to be tonight. It would have to be during match show, and I don't feel like doing an after match show unless I don't think you guys do.
I think Dano was the problem. It was the timing.
Well,
I'm always the problem.
right. And then doing it tomorrow is Yankee show, isn't it?
Yeah. I said you can use mine, no problem.
So it's either going to be Friday or that Saturday. I say let's just do it Saturday during Rick's show then.
That's
Can
right.
you
See,
on
I might
Saturday?
get some new subs out of it.
Yeah. Well, it's a benefit then too. Can you be there on Saturday? Either one of you two guys?
I still don't know yet. I might go up north. I might not.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll probably.
If I'm home, I'll be on. If I'm not home, then I'm dead to the world because I'm up north.
Okay. So so Rick has a show on Saturdays at 3 p.m. Eastern, right?
Yep.
And it's called Rick Swipes I See It, and you have the channel over there on Gun Channel. So yeah, thanks for doing the show, and thanks for jumping on today and giving us the insight.
All right.
Yep.
Catch you later.
All right. So what we're going to jump into?
Down to business. This is the business of Wednesdays. And Wednesdays, what do we do?
Oh, we were going to do something else, I thought.
So you started plugging the trading cards, and then
Oh yeah, the trading
got
cards.
sidetracked. So
Screw me out of my. Somebody's got a bid on the trading cards. And he wants us to overlook the mentioning of the trading cards.
I don't know what you're talking about. Which way did it go?
Mm-hmm. So we'll jump open. Oops. I'll eventually open up a couple of windows here. Am I still screen sharing? No. So
how much time do I got till it ends?
till the auctions end, we got 6 hours. So it'll be sometime this evening, 11 o'clock this evening or midnight.
So I don't have to run inside and outbid Daniel right this second. I can do it later tonight. And I know I'm up later than he is. I don't sleep.
Have to outbid other people. But anyway.
Hey.
We're over here looking at eBay. So what over on Gun Channels the other week or so ago, we came up with this concept. Basically, I was already doing the cards, right, for the Old West cards. So I had done a prototype deck, and I just figured out how their system works again and everything. So it was fresh in my mind. And I was trying probably not to do taxes or something. So opened up in the program and started dinking around because we had talked about doing trading cards for a while. Anyway, I just went ahead and whipped through a bunch. Maggie and I had been talking about, well, we built that spreadsheet to figure out who had met who. And once we knew who had met who, then it's possible to know how many cards to build or how many cards are needed for everybody to have a card for everybody they've met. So put that effort in, a little bit of effort into that, and created a bunch of designs. Not everyone, but I guess some people, most people, but not everybody who has met other people on Gun Channels, with the caveat that they also participate over in Gun Channels, because there are people that people have met that occasionally come by the YouTube side that are never really hanging out on Gun Channels. So, you know, we drew the line wherever it was in the sand. We made up a bunch of these cards and then shipped out a bunch of them. I also had to draw a line in the sand where I was going to ship them out. Some of the people only had a card or two coming, and it was basically adding up, accumulating all the little 50 cents for the shippings. So, and I wasn't sure if those 50 cents were going to get to you, but if Maggie got his, then it worked because you probably had the most out of anybody, and that would have been the heaviest envelope. But you got yours, right?
Yes, I definitely got mine.
And it arrived in good shape. It wasn't all beat up or destroyed by going through the machines.
No, it looked great. The way you folded up in that paper and stuff, it kept them all nice.
Okay, cool. So then somehow I screwed up, though, because when I was all done, I had a pile left over. So I took that pile and I turned it into these 4 auctions, I think, 5 auctions. So there's this one. I'm going to just close this. There's this one, which has the most. I don't know what this is. 10? No. 7 times 4. There's 28 of them in that one. This one has fewer. There's 6. There's 24 in that one. This one has even fewer. I guess there's 20 in that one. Look at that. And then this one also has, oh, this one has only 15. And then this last one has just 5. So I just threw them together randomly, completely. It turned out this first one has a couple of Smeggies. So if you're a big fan of the Smeggy, you'll get that Smeggy over there by Dead Horse. And then that Smeggy over there by Darren Day. There's a Dano in there. And is that the only one with the Dano? There must be 2 then.
There are 2 with the Dano.
Oh, snap.
So if you get the one with 3 Smeggies, that means you got trading potential. You can trade a Smeg and still have a Smeg.
Wait, there's 3 Smeggies in here.
No, it's just 2.
There's 2.
There's 2, I'm sorry.
But there's 2 of something else. 2 Ricks. That's what it is. You get 2 big gunners.
Yes.
So obviously I didn't do a good job of sorting that one very good, but somebody could grab that, somebody could grab that, and then there's this little one here. So anyway, if you're interested in grabbing some, they have about 6.5 hours left on them, which means it'll end somewhere late night or midnight for you, depending on where you are. And that's just a little, I don't know if anybody's even going to be interested in these. Honestly, I just figured since we put them out there, some people got really butthurt about not being included. I figured this is a way to pass the opportunity along for people to get in these first ones. And mainly it'll be interesting now. We'll talk about them on Saturday, but once people have gotten them in their hands, we can start thinking about, you know, if the size is right, what all we could put on them and how to play with them or trade them or whatever we're going to do. But I guess that's enough about that.
I'm sorry, I gotta read Angry's comment. I don't always clip cards, but when I do, I prefer Dose Smeggies.
Those Smeggies. I do have to say, that's pretty quick thinking on his part.
Yeah, I think that first one's going to have some bidding wars going on for it.
Yeah. When you got those Smeggies in there.
Oh, crap. I went to all that and I didn't drop any of the links? Nice.
Yeah, I put the links in there.
Thanks. I don't know why I closed all these windows right now. So.
Hey, I'm just your wingman.
Well, why don't we then go into whatever's next? So I'll start opening up these windows again. Actually, I don't need to drop them all right.
There was something else you were talking about. I don't know when you want to do it.
Let me quit clicking, and then I will know what you're talking about. Click there. And there. And encourage you to share these with your friends. If you know somebody else who's crazy about buying completely personalized trading cards. Secure personalized trading cards, then send them the link. Okay, and I can close all this. And then I can go back over here and talking about what you're flipping around over there on.
Yep.
Right.
We were talking about that earlier.
No, because I have to figure that out part.
Okay.
Oh, you mean
Never
when I
mind.
kicked him out of here? I just want to give myself plenty of room when I kicked him out of here.
Just
So-
keep moving along. Didn't see anything. Just keep going. Nothing to see.
There was something else I snuck into one of the...
There's the gun of the day,
No, this gun
as
history.
well as the history.
Oh, no. That was the Penn and Teller thing. Okay. I was thinking of the Penn and Teller thing that I knew I was forgetting something. All right. So, yeah, I guess we can go over to here and close this window. And
As we all wait for G-Webs to close the window.
Right.
Those were the days of our lives.
all right. We're ready for the tactical quiz. So each week, I want to read.
Holy cow! Are you crazy?
Yeah, it's happening. So this is the tactical quiz. Each Wednesday, we do the tactical quiz. At least we used to. I don't know what we're going to do going forward. So now we've moved the tactical quiz to Saturday. So this will be our commercial for the tactical quiz this Saturday. And probably should just do it at the same time, 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 Pacific. And then it's
I don't
consistent.
think so.
No? Are you saying I shouldn't do the Saturday one at the same time? Same time slot?
No, I'm not saying that at all.
Oh.
I didn't say anything, actually.
Okay, I think 7 o'clock Eastern on Saturday is a good time.
So I think that's what we might start doing so that it can be a little more consistent. Worked out pretty good last week. We did 2 of them. We had the first one. It went pretty well. And then Hosh showed up. It was Hosh and you? Or who was it? Hosh and somebody. Was it
I don't know.
Snake?
I haven't seen the tactical quiz yet, man. I'm bummed out. I was all excited about the new and improved one, and I've been busy the last couple
I
of weekends.
swear, officer, I was at work all Saturday. I wasn't there.
I was. I think I took a picture from an airplane. Oh, no, that was on my way home. But, yeah, I was going to the airport last Saturday during the quiz.
I was driving people to the airport.
So, but anyways, I've listened to them after the fact, and, yeah, I like the way it's done now. It's a cool quiz.
So I figured we are going to be changing around the show a little bit. Tomorrow's the first day of, what is it, June?
Yep.
So got a new month coming up, and we'll change around the pop quizzes, at least the format for the pop quizzes, and then the tactical quizzes. And I should have probably wrote some of these things down because I came up with a good idea for the tactical quiz this week. It'll be a little bit different format, a little new format. One of the things I like to do with the tactical quiz is turn it around a little, or play with it a little bit, come up with new ways of doing it. So this one will be sort of a gun channel / daily gun show history. And I think to begin with, it'll purely be, let's do it best 3 out of 5, or let's say the first one to get 3 correct guesses. Is that too difficult? Maybe the first one to get 2 correct guesses. Well, that might be a little bit too hard. So let's make it the first one to get 3 correct guesses. The first question will be, what episode show are we on? It should be pretty simple. I don't have any music. I thought Dana was doing the music now with his fancy sound system. Should I grab the music?
Oh, man. I got the ticker. Just a minute. Look, where's my ticker?
250? No, we're not on episode 250. 322.
322?
Oh,
No,
close.
323. Correct answer. Ding, ding, ding.
Arctic. Okay.
A little late on the ticker there, bud.
That's all right.
Hey,
So,
there's other questions.
So the next question will be, and I don't know if we need to make a big production for each one, who are the first 2 hosts of the Daily Gun Show? You have to have both answers. 50,000 is incorrect. I'm not even getting answers from the YouTube side. Where's my
How
YouTube?
can you not know who the first two hosts of the Daily Gun Show? It wasn't me. Bob and G, too hottie.
Angry was before that with Bob and G.
I'm sorry. Yes, you are correct. Angry was the first.
The Daily Gun Show. Who was it?
Whoa. Hello?
Hello.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, I had a screen going, I think. So, who won that one?
That was Angry.
That was Angry.
See, now people are going to think that I was wearing boots or something.
Did he grease our palms?
All right, so the first one was Arctic, right? Sorry, I forgot.
I was throwing them in the side there, yeah.
Oh, you're putting the side. I don't have the Hangout one open. I don't have two monitors, so
Oh, no
I
worries.
can't see the side chat.
All right, the next one will be what month and what year did we start gun channels?
Ooh, that one's trickier. I don't think I know that answer, actually.
Got nothing. It's the worst ticker ever.
March
March
of
is
16, I think, is incorrect.
Very wrong.
November 13th, February 73.
Pink has that one. So Pink. So maybe I should have done it the first one to get two correct, because now it might be a while
Yeah.
before we me to get
Let's do it. First one to get two. We can change on the fly.
Oh, snap. So next question is gun channels has over how many members? First one to get closest without going over.
Don't be knocking my ticker.
Yeah, gun
It's just giving me a Pavlovian response. I'm tasting ice cream.
What do you think?
300, 5,000, 4,000, 150,
It sounds like Dan.
3,000, 148.
Okay, the answer was 5,000. So two. How do you got that one? Are you saying it sounds like Dan is going to town on a bowl of ice cream right now?
No, it's kind of weird, but I used to watch 60 Minutes with my parents every night while I ate a bowl of ice cream. So when I hear that ticker, like my brain's like, oh, it's Sunday night. It's time for ice cream.
That's a
And
long.
But I do know what you mean.
Chocolate chip ice cream right now. I swear to God, it's like I'm eating it right now. Anyways, that's a little side trivia note for Smeggy. Maybe this
John,
could be a
be
question
nice.
for the tactical quiz. What show does Smeggy always eat ice cream at watching?
Why don't we ask this one from the gun channel side? What co-host did Dano have back in the day when Dano used to do a Sunday show?
Ooh, good question.
What co-host?
I know the answer to that.
Oh, well, amazing. Dano knows the answer. What co-host
Dano did a show?
back in the day when Dano did a Sunday show? Yeah, Dano did a Sunday show for a period of time
Yep.
with a co-host, and it was not Island Z. No, not Z either.
Was it Quark?
It was not Quark.
No, it was not.
Jack
Z.
Benny.
It was Kathy Griffin. You're right.
Oh, John, you're going to get a throat punch for that one.
Was it Bob?
No, it was not Bob.
Nope. It was not Bob.
I'm trying to think who it could be.
It might be too difficult. I might have stumped him.
And well, I'm not going to give any hints.
The question is, who was Dano's co-host when Dano used to do the Sunday show?
Was it Pink?
Yes. Who is my co-host?
It was not me. It was not Stone Guy, and it was not Madonna. I
Hey,
think
screw you,
No,
John.
not Smeggy's mom.
YouTube's is
Bad Marine?
did it lead. It was not Bad Rain, no.
Go to Wix.com. Create
How about you
your
don't tell me to go to Wix.com anymore? Ryan Seacross? Oh, we did get an answer. No.
I like how someone said Smeggy when I clearly had no idea the thing existed. I'm
Smeggy's
pretty sure I
mom.
wasn't co-host.
It said Smeggy's mom.
It was not Hosh.
Smeggy's mom.
was not good guy, was not flippy.
You're basically going to read everybody off on gun channels. So
Yeah.
it is possible that person has been on live shows with Dano since then. Is not telling
Yes.
All right, so I guess we stumped him. We'll keep moving.
All right.
I really want to know
Some
that.
questions are just too hard.
Yeah.
We don't have enough hardcore, old school gun channelers.
So speaking
Original
of
GC.
gun challengers, who was the host of the after show on Wednesdays back in the day? After match show, after Never Enough Ammo on Wednesdays, who hosted an after show?
Quark, Stone Guy.
Panther, finally. Figured that
Stone
one.
Guy, eh?
Yeah, that was Stone Guy's role, was to take people off a Matt's show.
Yep.
Who would get in there as guest hosts, and then Stone Guy would have an after chat with them. It was late night gun channels.
Well, that's Pink's second win.
So y'all feel bad. I won't tell you who was the co-host with Dano on the Sunday shows. You know how one way you could tell? You go to Dano's channel and look. It's not like Dano created a whole new channel or nothing. So next we'll ask, who was the famous gun channeler from Wisconsin, the land of cheese? Who was the famous gun channeler from the land of cheese? I guess we could technically end it because now Pink has one twice.
Come on, gun channels.
All right.
Quark.
Yeah, he's basically
Panther.
It was
Pink Panther.
And it was Quark. Quark was from the land of cheese.
So then he did get the 3. We changed the rules to make it easier, and he won the hard way anyways.
Yep.
Good job, Pink.
Because I knew Pink wouldn't take an easy win like that, so we just went ahead and kept going. So now you'll all have to sit around thinking about who was this co-host with Dano back in the day when Dano used to do a Sunday show.
I'm going to throw a teaser out there. I spoke to him.
Make them go look at your channel. Come on. Yeah.
And if you're not subscribed to Dano's channel, subscribe to it.
Oh, there we go. Finally, Moon came along. He woke up. It was Thin Blue Line. TBL, Tino.
Yes. TBL. Not traumatic brain something.
Lesion.
It was Thin Blue Line, a.k.a. Dino.
All right, so that was today's tactical quiz. Was it the last tactical quiz? No, but was it the last tactical quiz in May? Wait, is this May of 2017? Yes, it was.
Yes.
On Saturday, we have the real tactical quiz, which is a more elaborate show. I think it ends up being a little bit more than a half an hour, but once we get our crap together over there, I hope to make it about a half an hour of super exciting fun and entertainment. And hopefully use that to kind of grow this show and the other stuff that we do over on gun websites. So give us some feedback on that. Watch the show, let people know about it, and continue to tune in on Wednesdays for fabulous things that can happen on Wednesdays. All right, so with that, I think we will urge everyone to we have a Patreon channel. We've talked about it before, like today, for about, I don't know, more than an hour. I'm not saying anybody played the movie APPALOOSA in the Patreon pre-show today, but we have a Patreon pre-show that was the length of an entire movie before the show today. And we do a movie of the day every day. So today we had a very long pre-show, just coincidentally was about the running time of a movie. So that happened today. You can get in on those if you wanted to by heading over to our Patreon channel, which is a place where we help fund the fun stuff that we do. Mostly we fund the podcasting hosting and the shipping for the stuff that we send out. But as we go forward, I think everyone will see that we're going to be shipping even more stuff. So hopefully people will continue to join us over on Patreon. As far as supporting us over there with financially with perks and whatnot. But what we're asking today is for people, even if you are already a member of Patreon, I guess actually if you are already a member of Patreon, we're going to ask that you head over to the Patreon channel once in a while. We do posts periodically, and again, to interact with the platforms, excuse me, we're going to ask the favor of going in and liking those posts once in a while, giving us a comment. If we post a question or a poll or something, interacting with it. As a financial supporter, we definitely appreciate it. But since Patreon is a platform, a very large platform for people who are out there seeking to support grassroots efforts like this, we'd like to get our presence on that platform, as big as large as possible. And one of the ways that you can help us as a supporter would be to interact with the platform over there. So we just wanted to specifically ask that favor. If you are a Patreon supporter, to head over and look at some of the posts, and a lot of them are links to the pre-shows. So, just give them a like or say thanks or something in the comments or whatever. Give us some feedback. You don't have to say thanks. You can say, hey, that show sucked. Do something better or whatever. Constructive criticism is better than just, making fun of us or something. But we do appreciate the contributions financially and the participation in the platform over there. Like I say, it really does help. And if you're not already a Patreon supporter, consider it. Take a look over there. Not everything we do is for the Patreons only. So if we do something, like have an interesting guest or something, we do archive it on our Patreon page. So if you want to go find stuff that we do online, you can use our website, but you can also use our Patreon page to basically archive old shows. We did the rules. I think we got the quote, and that's about it. So I think with that, we will say thanks for everybody for being patient with us, kind of swapping around subjects today. I think we hit everything. We did the eBay thing. That's this last link down here. So with that, we will say thanks. Tomorrow will be Thursday. It'll be episode 324. We'll be talking about, what are we going to be talking about? I think we ditched that, guns and vehicles or something. So we'll have an open topic tomorrow. Maybe we'll show up late.
We're cut out
all right. Smeg, anything you want to push while we're out before take us home?
Oh, what? I can't even finish what we're doing tomorrow? So the first segment.
Oh, I thought you were done. I thought that's all there was.
No, we lost the first segment because we screwed around with stuff today. Then we've got the training segment of the show, which will be best knee pads for a training class. Can't believe you don't want to talk about that. And then we'll have Gun Channel story time tomorrow. Tomorrow's story time will be on the water, which is, I remember, nobody remembers anyway. Movie tomorrow is Bad Girls. So if you want to try watching one of the movies ahead of time, tomorrow's Bad Girls. Later on in the week, we have Banditas. And I guess that's the whole week. So Dan will have his rule number 13 out of his 17 tactical tips. And with that, we can end it with Bob's quote.
All right. So we like to end every show with a quote, and today we have one from Daniel Boone. All you need for happiness is a good gun, a good horse, and a good woman. And with that, I'd like to thank you for listening, and please be prepared.
The guys at Gales.
GunWebsites.com encourage you to take a CCW class every year, practice at least once a month, and carry every day. Thanks for watching GunWebsites.com.